It's Clutch from the Sodak motorcycle blog. Hopefully everyone's doing well where they're at in the world. We are doing good here today because, well, today we are making our first ride of 2022, so that's a good thing. But that's not the only thing we're doing today. Actually, the main business of today is I'm gonna go through and run down the road with these set of Mick-O-Pegs and kind of give you my first impressions of them. Once I get hooked up here, which I now am. Also have a new comm system I'm getting used to, and yeah, a few other little things, so this should be a fun day. As some of you probably, well, have been watching already know, not too long ago I purchased a set of Mick-O-Pegs. And this is back in January, and well, we managed to basically get them here in February, and then yesterday I just installed them on my motorcycle. They're made by a company out of Michigan, and their tagline is "Riding is wonderful." Basically, it's they're trying to solve the comfort issues of basically with the Goldwing. When you're going down the road, you got your legs kind of pinched up like this, you know, and well, you're going down the road for a while, and well, you're going to want to stretch your legs out. The problem with pegs, the problem with the highway pegs that most of the time you get on a Goldwing, well, they kind of get in the way. They hang off the side of the engine in a bad spot. So you got to risk, you know, the issue of like, oh, they might break and, you know, put a hole in your block or something, or, you know, they'll drag when you try to take a corner really steep, or, oh, what else will happen? Or if you're trying to avoid all that, you got to have your legs wrenched up in such a terrible body position that it's not even close to comfortable, and it's one of those, why are you wasting your time? Mick-O-Pegs basically solves this. They build a block and they put a spring in there with a peg, and when you're going down the road, you put your feet down and the highway peg goes down. When you're not using them, they come back up, so they're out of your way. Kind of like so. See how they stick up? They go down like that when you're going down the road. That's what they do. Just like that. So that's what they do, and like I said, this is my very first time riding it, so this is kind of going to be my first impressions. Installing them isn't too hard. You might run into issues with you know, loading the spring, or basically assembling them, because there's a spring in there and you got to get just right. I managed to figure it out, so I figured about anyone could. So my initial thoughts. Of course, my initial thoughts of them was the build quality on them is pretty good. They're a nice little set of chrome. They look pretty good, I think. They look like they definitely would work. Now, deploying them, few things I've noticed so far with deploying them is where that peg hangs, it's kind of in the way of your foot. So if you're used to just putting your feet just straight out right away without watching out for the block, you're going to need to be aware of that. You're probably going to catch your feet quite a bit. I know every time that I've just been trying them out, I'll catch the peg, and it's, like I said, it's kind of a, oh, yep, that's right, the peg's there. And I've also heard kind of the same issues with, so my version is called the KD, and the KDs stick out, but their original versions all stick in. I've heard some issues with the sticking in too, but I'd say first thoughts, just running them down the service road here, I think they're going to work. I think they solve the issues I want to solve. Because I used to have a pair of Kiriakin highway pegs on here, and well, the problem with them is, well, I dropped the bike last year and one of them sheared off on me. Like, just absolutely sheared off. And honestly, in a way, I was kind of glad they sheared off, because they were really starting to annoy me. And like every time I'd go do like slow speed drills or something, parking lot, I had to take them off, or you know, they'd always scrape just a little bit if I took too big of a turn. And like I said, they're kind of in a way, but you know, they weren't great when I wanted to go down the road. But the problem was, you know, not every single time I'm on this bike am I running down the interstate highway, you know, crushing miles. Sometimes I'm driving through city traffic. You know, there's lots of other instances, lots of other places in traffic where I am. So, and I saw what some of the other offerings were, like the Rivco ones that fit nicely on the engine. That's great and all, but here's the problem. With me, my feet would be like way up here, and I'm not. Honestly, if I got to be uncomfortable with the highway pegs, I just will save my money and be uncomfortable with the regular pegs. So that's why I went with these, with the Mick-O-Pegs. I think the finish is pretty good. They go together really well, I think. So far, I think they're going to serve my needs that I want them to serve. Just initially, a few things I don't like about them is the fact that I really got to get that leg up and over them. Like, they're not quite the quick grab and go that I thought they would be with my feet. And maybe I was being unreasonable with my expectations of them, but I just kind of thought, and maybe that's just lack of me thinking through too, but I thought they would be like, you know, kind of nice and easy, you know, slip the foot on and off, and they kind of don't do that. Other things about them, well, they do feel, the pegs they send with them are they kind of seem flimsy, and like with my feet on them, they do kind of feel flimsy to me. But I don't think they're that flimsy. I think that's just because of the way they're designed, the fact that I'm used to a big heavy peg, that they're not going to work for me as well, you know. That's what I think the issue is I'm just not used to that kind of peg. I'm used to a good stout like Kuryakin peg. And honestly, I think it's something I can get used to, because let's be honest, it's not like you're really standing up on your highway pegs anyway. You basically just need a place to put your feet so they rest a little bit. Other things, they do crank out a little bit further than I would like them, but that's kind of their design. I just didn't really think that my feet would fit when I'm going the other way with the inside version. So I think this is just kind of what I'll have to deal with. And I may eventually go ahead and, you know, maybe bend them back a little bit or something. But, you know, they don't feel too bad right here. I mean, they really don't. And I'd say they're true to form for... So the way the measurements go is, like, they're all by inseam. So, like, the KD is 28.5. Or no, excuse me. I believe it's 29.5 to 32-inch inseam. And I have a 30-inch inseam. And they say a straight leg at a 30-inch inseam, which I'd say, yep, they're there. They're true to form. I would make sure you got a proper measurement though, like make sure you got your true inseam, not what you think your inseam should be. I mean, I admit it, I'm just a short guy. My legs are just really short, so that's kind of the way it is. So make sure you get a good measurement before you're ordering them. So I like the fact they do measure up right. I was trying to go to dislikes here. The installation of them is kind of a pain. And once again, it's just kind of the way they're designed. I mean, you have to pull the front block off to get to the other blocks so you can install it onto the bike. Now, in one respect, that's nice because it's not as easy to get them off there, but at the same time, it's not as easy to get them off there. And also for, like, any time now that I do my, like, spark plugs on this thing, I'll have to pull them off. Because with the spark plugs on a GL 1800, you got to pull that bottom cover off, and, well, the Mick-O-Pegs are right there, right in the way. So, like I said, I mentioned flimsy feeling. I mentioned the installation's kind of wonky. Let's see, other first thoughts. Another first thought, it was kind of a pain to get them, I thought. Like, so I went to the Mick-O-Pegs website and went to the order now, and it came up with nothing. So I started trying to search for the sales page. Well, I came across one. Unbeknownst to me, it was like a 3-year-old sales page. And so and I didn't hear anything back for like 2 weeks, so I finally emailed them. And about a week later I heard back, and you know, that those prices were not the right prices, and he actually wondered how I found that website. So lesson learned from that. Your best bet with so really the gripe is if you're not a get on the phone and talk to a guy. Well, even then you can't really do it. If you don't really want to do email, you know, to like, you want to just buy online and be done with it, you kind of can't really do that. Also, calling them on the phone's kind of a pain, because actually the phone will actually tell you to send them email. So getting a hold of them can be kind of hard, but I tell you what, it's kind of worth it in the end. Like I said, it was worth it in the end. And you know, like I said, they do respond to you. They do respond to your questions. One thing you'll say on the website when you're purchasing them is it'll suggest that you send them an email with your credit card number. Now, you don't have to do that. That is not a requirement. What you can do is you can email them with your size, and then they can track it. They can find the right part for you, and then they can send you just a PayPal invoice. So, and you don't have to be actually in PayPal. You can check out as a guest on PayPal, so you're good either way there. I think you can still send them a check, but honestly what I would do is I would confirm they got stock before you get crazy with the payment, just because, you know, everybody's been struggling with product shortages, and you know, I'm sure that Mick-O-Pegs was no different. Actually, when talking with them, they even made the comment, we'll see if we got them or not. So keep that in mind. So the good things with them, first of all, obviously I like the look of them. I like the thought behind them of, you know, you can have highway pegs and then they're not sticking out of the way when you're done using them. They do got a good feel going down the road. Like I said, I'm running them right now and they don't feel too bad. Also, their customer service is actually pretty good. You know, like I said, you gotta be patient with them, because I think it's a 1 or 2 man show, but once you get a hold of them, their customer service is pretty good. You get free shipping if you're in the lower 48, so you buy them and guess what, you get free shipping to the lower 48. I also think their price is good. They're at $389 for a set, which, yeah, they're a little bit more expensive than most of them, but for that price you get a good solid peg. It works pretty good. You get decent customer service, and you don't have that issue of falling over and shearing off on you, or the Rivcos where you gotta have your legs all the way up like 4 foot in the air so that, you know, the pegs will deploy. Another good thing is I like the fact with because all their models are called the heavy model now, or all the K models are heavy, meaning you can bring your own peg. So if you decide the little pegs they send along with it aren't good enough for you, you can put basically any peg on there you want to. So I do think that's a good thing. Another good thing, especially because I'm here in the States, is they're a made in USA product, which, hey, that's always good. Also, the other good thing about it is it was actually made and invented by a guy who rides a motorcycle. So a person who actually rode a motorcycle thought of it and perfected it. So, and like I said, that's good to me. You know, I always like that's one big complaint, especially like my wife has with like seats and stuff, is yeah, they always say, oh, it's great for the passenger. They never ever ask the passenger. I think the only person who ever asked the passenger about a seat is maybe Russell Daylong. Maybe Russell Cycle Products did at one time, but I don't think many others did. So yeah, just after the first few miles, I tell you what, they're surprisingly comfortable. Since I got on the interstate here, I've just kind of fell right in and just been normal here. Like, it just feels pretty good. I do like the feel of it. That's pretty cool. Like I said, they feel, I think once they get used to them, they're going to feel pretty natural. They don't feel, I figure it this way, a good way for me to tell how how good something's gonna be to me is like, how good does it feel right away? I tell you what, this feels pretty good. These pegs feel pretty darn good. Like I said, I just hopped on the interstate about 10 miles ago, actually about 8 miles ago, and I put my feet down on them and I haven't picked them up yet. And pulling off is really quick and easy, so that's another good thing I like about them. Is getting on them is kind of a pain, but getting off them is really quick and easy, which is good, because if you need to, you know, hammer on your brakes or something like that, it's not gonna, the peg isn't gonna hold you up. So also they spring right back into place. All right, we're gonna get off the interstate here, and I'm gonna just kind of show you what they look like. Although if you've been staying up with the series, you already know what they look like, but just in case you just started following here, I just want to make sure you get to see them. We'll pull up here right by the Sturgis sign. Let's take a look at them. As you can see, they got a really nice finish on them. Of course, I shined them up pretty good after my install. So, but they do just like that. They go down like that, they pop back up. Like I said, they work pretty good. I like the fact they stick up and out of the way. As you can kind of see, they're definitely out of the way, which is good. There you have it, the Mick-O-Pegs. We're going to keep riding with them for a while yet, and we'll probably do a final review just a little bit later. I just wanted to give everybody a chance to see what they look like with the initial ride review. Anyways, I'm Clutch from the Sodak Motorcycle Blog. Please like and subscribe to the Sodak Motorcycle Blog. If you like this video, please share it with your friends. Anyways, that's it, and we'll see you later.